All right, so it's a cozy Tuesday morning, the 21st day in the month of April 2026, a little after 7 a.m. This is where we serve you nothing but the best of breakfast on TV as you rightly want it. I mean, I woke up this morning to realize that it rained over the night. I mean, not all over, but some part of the capital city and some other parts of the country witnessed some rain showers yesterday. This morning, it's looking cloudy. As well. I'll get to where I'll tell you what the temperature looks like and what you need to know as far as the weather forecast for the day is concerned. But welcome to the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. My name is Randy Ahaji. The team is ready. It's a full house this morning. Of course, the other co-chefs are in the kitchen chopping onions, tomatoes, carrots, lettuce, and whatever you want to have in that particular breakfast this morning. Quite a number of things for us to take a look at as well. Yesterday, it was the turn of the local government minister, where he spoke a lot on what you need to know as far as that sector is concerned. He was on the government accountability series. We will look at some of the key highlights. I'm more particular about the breakdown with the 5 billion that he spoke about. I mean, things are still not rosy. The economy is still on a rebound, but of course they've been able, within 1 year, few months, they've been able to pay about 5 billion for, whatever work to be done as far as the MMDAs are concerned. We'll look at all of that this morning. There is also a big one that I want us to have, where we would invite you, the viewer, to also join the conversation. It has to do with, the Mumu agents out there. Is it right that the charge or customers are made to pay for deposits? I listened to the boss at the Momo FinTech or so. He mentioned emphatically that it is not right, but why do people charge? So maybe the question should be, why do Momo vendors charge customers for deposits? Let's have that broad conversation. Maybe we can appeal to the telcos to step in. Indeed, if we listen to the Momo vendors, they might probably have some good reason. So if you are a Momo vendor out there, when the time comes, we'll activate the phone lines for you to join and also share your thought with us. Remember, you can join the conversation already via all our social media platforms. Feel free to drop your comments and suggestions under any of the live broadcasts. It's our responsibility to read and share with the rest of the world. You can also join by sending your message via WhatsApp number 055 2697939. 055-2697939 is the number. For our motivation this morning, if you remember Kobe Bryant, he mentioned that everything negative, pressure, challenges is all an opportunity for me to rise. I'll take that again. Everything negative, pressure, challenges is all an opportunity for me to rise. You might be going through a lot of challenges today, a lot of hurdles around you. You find yourself in a very toxic environment at work, at home, in the market. Every space that you find yourself, you can't even breathe. You take a step, there is a question. You do this, there is a question mark. Everybody seems to be speaking about you. Everybody seems to have that sort of negativity or negative thoughts about you. Look, Kobe Bryant is telling us that rather empowered him to rise. He is no more anyway. May his soul rest in peace, or continue to rest in peace. But he's left us with this quote: everything negative. Yes, let them say, let them do, let them continue to do all the negative things around you. Let them continue saying you can't do it. The most important thing for you to do is remain focused and prove them wrong by bringing out the good results. And basically that's what Kobe Bryant is telling us this morning. Rise. Even if you fall, the most dangerous thing to do is to fall and continue to, stay down there. Rise. Don't allow the challenges or the hurdles keep you down base. Continue to rise. Strive hard for the better, and of course, keep focused. And indeed, that particular goal you've been looking out for will be achieved. And that's the motivation for the morning. But let's quickly look at our weather. As I intimated, it's cloudy out there. Temperature currently hovering around 26 degrees Celsius. It's going to rise to 31, 32 towards midday, thereabouts. So relatively, it's going to be a bit hot, but there are chances of rain showers later in the day as well. So you can prepare on both hands. Grab some umbrella when you step out But remember, it's going to be hot in the afternoon as well, so do wear some light clothes so you stay safe, stay out of trouble out there. And as I mentioned, as it stands now, the temperature is hovering around 26 degrees Celsius. And that is it for the weather forecast for the day. We'll take a break. When we return, indeed, my co-chefs will be introduced, and then we start serving you the best of breakfast. Stay with us.
Not too long ago, the great President John Mahama went to the United Nations and spoke for my people of Jamaica and the Caribbean and the Americas. And you said, we are not looking a handout, but recognition of what took place in the transatlantic slave trade. I thank you, my president. I am a child who suffer from this. Chains on my feet, whip in the hand. And tonight I sing a song to go along with your mission of reparations. Not a handout, but to acknowledge. But we're gonna do it not just reggae style, we're gonna do it high life. A high life remix by me, Gram Smargan of Morgan Heritage. Oh, President Mahama, I thank you for saying what you said at the United Nations. Reparations, justice must come. Africa and the Caribbean as one. Zimbabwe, not charity, but exposing them both. Now a new day of justice is born. Across the ocean, torn from the land. Chains on my feet, whip in the hand. But your light carried us through the storms. Now a new day of justice is born. Reparations, justice must come, yeah. Africa and the Caribbean as one. Not charity, but exposing them both. Now a new day of justice is born. Reparations, justice must come. Africa and the Caribbean as one. Not charity, but exposing them both. Now a new day of justice is born. Africa crying out loud. Now a new day of justice is born. Mahama, I give you strength. From Ghana to Zimbabwe, we thank you for holding the way. We say, Mahama, justice must come. Africa and the Caribbean as one. I say from Jamaica right to Accra. Now a new day of justice is born. Play it, Lord. Across the ocean, I was torn from the land. There was chains on my feet, whip in the hand. But your light carried us through the storms. Now a new day of justice is born. Mahama, Africa, and the Caribbean as one. Now a new day of justice is born. Papa Mahama, Africa is crying. Now a new day of justice is born. I love you. Much love from Jamaica. Ooh yeah. We say Mahama, justice must come. Now a new day of justice is born. We say Mahama, justice must come, yeah. Now a new day of justice is born. Reparations.
Okay, thank you for still staying with us right here on WoezorTV. Remember, this is the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe, and as I told you, the team is ready to serve you the best of breakfast. Let me quickly introduce the gentleman who is back from that tour. He was in the northern region as well, together with the president as far as the resetting tour is concerned. He will give us more highlights on what went on yesterday, over the weekend as well. Karim Adams is here. Karim, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Charlie, your colors is sparkle.
Charlie, you know the
Army colors be that too.
Charlie, like I've joined the army. You know, I told you I've always had some sort of. It's
not too late though.
Always had some sort of liking for the army.
Yeah, I love the army too. At a point, I thought I was going to become an army officer.
Yeah, but me, I forgo because there are some people are for lash.
Oh, if that is the notion, then don't join the army. Don't join the army.
Why?
Oh no, because army is a discipline.
And so that's why I need to discipline people.
So they don't just lash. Why are you lashing?
There is definitely no smoke without fire.
But so use the laws. They are governed by laws.
No, we'll lash.
Somebody will tell you, my brother is not a military man. If you do,
I
will call him for you.
We'll lash you.
But it is what it is. Charlie, how are you doing?
Charlie, I'm good.
You missed out on a couple of things, and I'm just going to share this. Salah, if you can post that on Facebook, on the screen for me.
Yeah.
On the tricycles that were, given out, not given out, but the ones we saw the president mentioned during this. And I'm reading this.
Yeah.
I'm particular about this because yesterday I even touched on it. For the people who are making a fast arrow out of the whole thing, who are making a mockery out of it. That is Blessed Angel. She is a nurse, right, Karim? And I'll come to you so that you have a bite on it. Now, I'll just read a excerpt of what Blessed said yesterday. She says, "Dear President Mahama, on the day this picture was taken, my colleagues and I went for an outreach. We walked like there is no tomorrow. The sun scorched severely that day, but our prayers were against rainfall, with lots of rhetorical questions in case it rains. We walked so much that we couldn't feel my legs. Then there came a sachet water seller who offered to help us, into brackets like our savior. It was all joy. In fact, we were so tired that we sat flat on the floor, caring less how dirty our trousers could be. Dear President John Dramani Mahama, I'm speaking to you as a midwife who knows the value of the tricycles you brought. Please, my facility needs one. We need one ASAP. One from you to us directly." And she actually added some pictures of how she looked on that particular day. I just took that screenshot for us to take a look at it. And that is what people are going through, Karim. Yet you have Yanum and there are people who are so gullible to the point that they think everything is about green, red, blue, and white. They don't see beyond it. This is what Ghanaians have been going through in the last so many years that only God knows. Health workers. Imagine the infection they even pick crossing some of these places. I don't know what you have to say about this though, but your take.
My take on this is that a lot of people must understand that Ghana goes beyond Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, Cape Coast, Tamale, Bolgatanga, Wa, Sunyane, Damango, Sesh. Ghana goes beyond all of the capital cities that we find ourselves in. And so if you're one who is privileged to find yourself living in the capital, and in the capital, of course, living in the premium parts of the capital, then these are some of the comments that you might pass or you will pass. Not everybody in our part of the country, looking at the circumstances that we find ourselves in, would be able to enjoy from the ambulance as typical as we know it to be. Mm-hmm. The ambulances that ply, especially within our cities and our major towns. Not every community in this country has road access to be able to get these ambulances to ply those roads and to get into those communities. And there are people in certain communities in our country who just need something to be able to move people in cases of emergency. Mm-hmm. And in those cases, it is the tricycles that have been procured for the primary health care that would be able to do that. In any case, His Excellency the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, has made it quite clear that these tricycles that we are talking about and criticizing are meant to be for health workers to be able to go into these communities, to go into homes, to go to markets, and go and run free screening, run diagnostics for people, check blood pressures, check sugar levels, do education, public education for people. And he gives a caveat that, however, in an instance where you may have to move a person in a case of emergency, of course, then we should be able to use these tricycles to do that. And so we must recognize and come to the understanding that these tricycles that have been procured are game changers as far as our healthcare delivery is concerned, particularly within our rural communities and communities where people do not have immediate access. Randy, take it or leave it. The primary health care program, as launched by the health ministry, is a game changer within our health delivery system. Mm-hmm. Take it or leave it. You see, when you go to social media, you have a lot of privileged people spewing all kinds of things. And I don't even want to look at this from the point of the usual NDC MPP. I don't want to take it from I want to pick it from the point of ignorance and the point of people being privileged and failing to understand that if you are privileged and you're lucky and fortunate, there are other people who are not. There are other people who would appreciate these basic things. And that's why I keep saying every day that, look, somebody just needs 500 cedis. Somebody just needs 200 cedis to get their life started. Even within Accra, within Greater Accra region, Randy, there are communities that our ambulances cannot get into. It is these tricycles, it is these motorcycles that will get into those communities and bring relief to people. And so people can sit in their positions of privilege, in their positions of ignorance, in their positions of stinking partisanship, and call this initiative all kinds of names. But what they must recognize is that this is an initiative that would support every single individual in this country, irrespective of who you are. Randy, and I don't like to keep bringing this issue up because it's a sad situation and I don't like to keep bringing it up. But do you remember the accident last year in August?
Which of them?
That crash.
Yeah.
Was an ambulance able to go up there?
No.
An ambulance could not go.
No.
But you must understand that in certain instances, a tricycle could have gone up there. Mm-hmm. A motorbike could have gone up there. Mm-hmm. But an ambulance could not have driven there. There have been so many instances in this country that people get accidents in the bushes. And when those accidents happen, at what time will you call an ambulance to leave a major district or a major town or city to drive to that bush? But let's assume that there's an accident in one of these villages and there happens to be a tricycle. Maybe the tricycle will take convey the person.
Yeah.
And so people should not sit in their positions of privilege and spew rubbish and spew nonsense. If you have never been in a situation where you need help, and it is some of these things that will help you, then don't spew rubbish. Because every day we say that, "Entoa da." If it's never happened to you, sleep. But you see, the likelihood that it can happen to any of us is very high. And so let's not sit back and spew rubbish. What is the primary healthcare initiative? Government says that every Ghanaian citizen, before you get access to the National Health Insurance Scheme, and let's not get it wrong, you pay a premium. National Health Insurance is not free. You must pay a premium to register for National Health Insurance. Such that when you are ill and you walk into the hospital, you would be treated because you have a National Health Insurance card. So you get treatment. But Randy, we're saying that a lot of the ailments that a lot of people have, or a lot of the symptoms that they have, are not symptoms that warrant that they must go to a major hospital.
Yep.
So I wake up today, I have a headache, then I rush to UGMC.
Yeah.
I have a headache, then I rush to 37. I have a headache, then I rush to Kolebu. Government is saying that when you do that, we are putting a lot of pressure on the major hospitals that should be dealing with major health issues.
Yep.
So, when you have a slight headache, you want to check your BP, you want to check your sugar level, you want to do malaria lab, just walk to a CHIPS compound or walk to one of the booths that has been created for, the primary health care delivery. And all you have to show is your Ghana card because you don't have to pay a premium on that. By virtue of the fact that you're a Ghanaian citizen who has a Ghana card. And in fact, in some instances now, I can even say your voter ID or your passport. Because that also shows that you're Ghanaian. And if you don't have a Ghana card, you can't own a voter's ID. Hello? So all of these are documents that you can present that shows that you're a Ghanaian citizen and you require this service. Now that is the first point. So let's just assume that is your OPD. So when you go there and they do the lab and check your BP, check your sugar level, check your whatever, and realize that your case is one that requires a referral to a bigger hospital, then they refer you. And now when you go, that is where your National Health Insurance becomes needed. Don't forget that because there's a premium on National Health Insurance, it means that everybody must pay before you get access to treatment with a National Health Insurance card. So government is saying that, not everything requires people to pay. It's just a slight headache.
Yeah.
So go and let's check and give you paracetamol. Yeah. When you take para and it's not working out, then now we can say, Charlie, go to a bigger hospital. When we check your BP and everything is okay, we say, you are fine. You just go home, maybe rest a bit and all of that. Then you go home. When we check the BP and it's high, then we refer you. Then you go to a bigger hospital. What people must understand is that primary health care is in to solve a lot of problems. We talk about no bed syndrome.
So you land on that?
Yes. It is because you have a lot of people going to the hospitals with issues they should not be going to the hospital with. A lot of our, health care is more reactionary than preventive. Primary health care is supposed to be preventive. National Health Insurance will be, the English says, let me say, curative or curative or caring or whatever it is. But basically, primary health care is supposed to prevent. And National Health Insurance will treat. So, education, we go into market, we educate people, we tell them, hey, do this. We come and check your blood pressure. If you are pregnant women, you can go for antenatal. All of this is free of charge. And government says we are procuring tricycles to be able to go into the rural communities. And let me land on this one. Recently, we saw a video of a pregnant woman in one of the villages in the Volta region, we were told, who they were carrying, and she was walking. Imagine if they had a tricycle in that community, Randy. All they needed to do was put her on that and move her to the nearest healthcare facility. Indeed, we understand that, of course, we can do better as a country. We understand that there are some other pressing needs, but it does not mean that we must leave other needs and focus solely on other needs. We need to build roads, proper roads to get into these communities. But in the absence of these roads, should we leave the people to die? Should we not care about the needs of the people in the absence of the roads?
Yeah.
So if we cannot build those roads today and now, let us find temporary solutions to the needs of the people.
Okay.
That is basically what the government is doing as we look forward to building proper roads. Some of you sit in Accra, even the roads that lead to your homes in Accra are not good. And you are there ranting, yabby, yabby, yabby. You are fortunate. You grew up in a town. You went to school in a town. Everything about you is town. Everything about you is city. So you don't care about the needs of the people in the rural communities. I say travel and see.
Anyway, and I'm surprised they are not talking about the motorbikes, the two-legged ones. But their concentration
But
is
even the tricycles, that a lot of the MPP people are ranting about, they procured some during their time.
Yeah.
They brought some in during their time.
So let me just bring in now as well. Now, I mean, we have spoken at large on this, but how are you doing?
I'm good.
Very well. Very well. But you see, interestingly, Karim, it looks as though the whole idea is what the people don't get. Because if you are going to use this for to assist those guys at the rural areas, the hard to reach areas, I don't see the reason why this should even become a major issue where we'll be dragging it, playing politics all along with it. But anyway, now your take on that quickly, and then we can move on to the next conversation.
We've had this conversation over and over and over again, and I think what I'll say is what I'll say. That, when it comes to issues of health, let's not politicize it. When it comes to some of these issues where people's lives are on the line, let's put all our party colors and all aside, and then face the real things as they are. You guys are talking about the tricycle, keep talking about it, but you know that in your heart of hearts that an ambulance cannot move from saying someone to Diayedi. So the vehicles that go there, the only things that apply that route are the two Thai, Okada, and then the tricycle. So why don't we rather invest in those ones to save the lives of the people rather than moving ambulances from these urban areas into these rural areas to get the people? Like, we've spoken about it over and over and over again, and Karim cited the example of the lady in labor who was captured in Norton. If there was a tricycle or something, she would have been taken to the nearest health center very, very quickly, and she didn't have to go through, because you could see clearly that she was in serious labor and they had to hold her walk some more, then she would stand, walk some more, then she would stand. Is that the country we want for ourselves? In the implementation of the free primary health care, we really need some of these things to make the work very, very easy and efficient. And so, as much as possible, let's think beyond Accra. Let's think beyond the urban centers where you can move from your house straight to your doctor, or you just give your doctor a call and he or she comes to your house to take care of you. Let's move beyond those ones and think about the people in these areas, even where they do not have potable water to drink. In these areas where some people do not even are not even on the power grid. Let's think about the people in those areas. They do not have the good roads you have in the urban centers or in the cities. They do not have access to doctors like you do by the snap of your fingers. And so what the government is putting in place to help them is what is being done. I rest my case.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see how it rolls out in the coming days as well. Hopefully the distribution will be done and the guys in the rural areas will be sorted. But let's move to the next conversation. Karim, yesterday I listened to Haruna Shaibu, and he was very emphatic on it. He leads the the fintech space, that there is no way Momo vendors ought to charge for deposits. I mean, I have had that challenge over and over and over again. I don't know if you have also had that similar issue.
Fact of the matter is, I honestly do not remember the last time I went to do a deposit with a Momo vendor.
Okay.
Because of, obviously, that.
Okay.
Because, yes, some of them do charge for deposits. And I've decided that I won't waste my time going to a Momo vendor to charge me a deposit, because fact of the matter is that you are already paid commissions by the telco for whatever they charge. Whatever they charge, there's a commission, I think about 40% or so, or 60% or so, that the, the agents get. So I've always tried to wrap my head around it. Why they charge when people want to do deposits? If you are paying if you're depositing, I think they charge about is it 1% or 10% or so of the amount.
Do they even look at the amount? Do they even peg it on any percentage?
No, they do. I think it's there. But it's never made sense to me. So for a very long time, maybe in the last 3 or 4 years, I don't think I've gone to do Momo deposit from an agent before. Because when I walk to any bank, I will do that deposit free of charge. True. And so maybe a lot of people do not know. Of course, maybe for the sake of convenience as well, some people would just want to go ahead and do with the agent. But I'd rather walk to a bank and do that deposit, or put the money in my bank account and transfer it to my Momo wallet. And if I need to dispatch it or send it to other people, then I transfer it from there. But aside that, I don't think I have done any deposit with agents before, because I find it very unfortunate that people would do that. And it's just taking advantage of people and taking advantage of the situation for them to do that. And I think that really the telcos have got to sit up and really look into this matter. Of course, if the agents want to look at it from the point of maybe the commissions that we're getting are not enough, blah blah blah, maybe you want to spark a conversation with MTN Momo, but don't transfer that burden on the user, because it's basically just taking advantage of people. If you also say you won't pay and transfer on yet, then you are stuck there. No, which shouldn't be the case, because MTN charges for these things. So if MTN is charging, then it means that you're getting a commission on that. It's just like saying that you're going to do a deposit into your bank account, and your bank tells you that we are charging you for depositing money into your account. What if that? you get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just unfortunately. Mind you, their business is based on liquid. If the more money I come and give you to deposit into my account, it means the more money you have. It means the more withdrawals you can do.
Okay. Some make the argument that they may not have e-cash. So that would mean that they would have to get transfer from somebody or somewhere. The transfer comes with a cost. So if you are another vendor, I am out of e-cash. I need e-cash. You have enough. So I ask you, Karen, send me this amount of money. In sending me, you are charged.
Randy,
who pays for it? I have to pay for it.
Good question. Randy, you see, every business has a running cost. You don't run a business and think that you're running it for free. You understand? You must invest money in your business and then you make money back. The people who are running the Momo businesses, was it MTN who came to do their shops for them?
No.
It's their own money they use. So why do they want to throw that burden on with the end users?
No,
they should.
What I'm saying is that
I get where you're coming from.
That's a transaction.
I get where you're coming from, but they must count that as part of their running costs. It's as simple as that.
Nobody goes into business to run at a loss.
No, but you are not running at a loss.
Yeah, because if every day I'm going to incur a cost of say
your OPEX
up to 100 or 200 cedis.
It's your operational costs. Because at the end of the day, remember that you are making commissions from MTN. You are getting paid by MTN for being an agent.
Or the other telcos.
Yeah. So you are being an agent. You are getting paid for it. You are not doing it on behalf of the telcos for free. You are getting paid for it. So that becomes your running costs. That's why I'm saying that when I go to my bank to deposit money in my account, my bank doesn't charge me to do that. However, when I'm transferring that money, from my account to somebody else or to do something else, then the bank charges me for that transfer.
Yeah.
I hope you're getting my point.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So when people come to withdraw, MTN charges them for that withdrawal. So that you get your commission from that. So why is this issue of we must charge? I've given you the simple analogy. Your Momo wallet is like a bank account. Who goes to deposit money in their bank and their bank charges them to do? No bank charges people to deposit money. So where is that logic of I must pay you to deposit money in my Momo wallet?
Well, so and again, I mean, you even look at it also. They also talk about is it production costs or service costs?
Yeah.
Because some run on ECG, some run on rent for the space, the shop or the kiosk that is done. So they incur some cost as well.
Yeah, that's their OPEX.
Yes, I agree, but who really bears that cost?
It's them.
If not the end consumer.
No, them. Must not be me.
How much is their
Are
percentage?
you the one paying for a bank's rent?
Nope.
You are not paying for a bank's rent. Are you the one paying for
But
a
you
bank?
and I know how the banks,
Are you the one paying for
how the banks trade with our money.
Are you the one paying for your bank's, what's it called? ECG.
By the end of the month, your bank charges you.
Not every,
You are deducted some amount.
Not
of
every
money.
bank charges.
Well, I don't know about that,
Not
but
every-
I know
not every
my
bank
bank
charges.
charges. Every month
But
there is something that it takes.
The only thing my bank charges me is for my Visa card. That's the only thing I'm charged.
Well, I
for.
don't know, but
Yeah.
I mean, majority of the banks charge.
I bank with about 4 different banks. None of them charge me.
At the end of the month.
Yes, I have a savings account with 4 different banks. None of them charges me. At the end of the month, the only bank that charges me is a current account I run with them. And so it is dependent on the kind of account you go and open. So if you are broke man like me, and you go and open a current account where they are charging you every month, that one there is your headache.
Okay.
You get it? The highest they will charge me is 15 cedis for my Visa card. Asa. And that one is even that cry. Recently I was crying. I said, why? But of course, I use the card, so I must pay for it.
Okay.
So if the Momo vendors or the Momo agents, and this is me speaking on their behalf,
Okay.
think that the commissions that they are receiving from MTN is small, then they should go back and negotiate with MTN or the other telcos. Go and sit down and have a conversation with the other telcos. That Charlie, commissions now more my
Yeah.
because our running cost goes into A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so increase it. But Randy, people must also understand that when you are doing business, you must be mindful of your expenditure. When you're running any business, you must be mindful of your expenditure. It is just Momo you are doing. What do you use to do the Momo? Not be mobile phones.
Yeah.
If I can be a Momo agent on the go. You get
You have your e-cash.
I have my e-cash, I have my P-cash, my fiscal cash, my merchant SIM. Then I have my Blantan. You know what Blantan is? Cutlass. For added security. You get it. But I think that we must look at it from that perspective. They must go sit back.
Well, so the Mobile Money FinTech Limited boss, that's Shaibu, says that, I mean, these issues have been reported over and over and over again. But it looks as if it still continues. Now, I don't know if you have had a share of that before. You go to deposit and the person tells you, it happens in my area a lot. And so then you will not get a service.
Are you the only person there?
Yes.
And you know, it happens in areas where they are alone there.
Yes.
And you'll have to walk for a long distance before you find the next.
Imagine walking from 69 to maybe American House.
I'll do that than to give somebody a cheat money. I won't.
It's good exercise, Randy.
And you go to so you go to American House and you don't find anybody.
How?
Yeah, largely on Sundays. You only get to find them maybe after church or in the evening. Yes.
Wow.
On a Sunday, a typical Sunday, you know, a typical Sunday for Ghanaians, everybody is going to church or somebody is washing and they are resting. So they can only come after 12 or after 1 or 2.
And so you would pay the extra charges.
So you are now forced to pay the extra charges. And now in an area where you have just about 3 or 4 Momo vending points and they are scattered around, one here, one far away around the Songo development.
So if I want to deposit money, say 5,000 Ghana cedis, I would divide it. So I get to use 1,000. 1,000 Ghana you will you charge?
So every deposit is charged.
Hey.
Yeah.
Even 100 cedis.
Yes. So what they come up with is
no,
that,
which kind of Momo vendors are you people? Me, I won't do.
I'm serious. They tell you you would have to you have to add charges. Yes, they will tell you would have to add charges. Charges of how much? Then probably like Karim mentioned, is it a 1% or a 10%?
Hey.
Yes.
10%.
I mean, so if you are going to deposit, I'm not sure, but if you are going to deposit say 100 cedis, they can take 1 cedi. You know, 200 for 2 cedis, 5,000, 5 cedis, and all of that. Some even go 10 cedis or 20. I've recently had that encounter. I think I shared this whole thing with you. But on the other side, where they mention, like I said, the production cost or service charge or service cost and all of that, rental, the excuse of the fact that I don't have an e-cash, I would have to get the e-cash from somebody else, and who pays for that space? Do you get it?
Well, when you want to start a business, this is a whole business you're running, and you are attending to clients, and so at every point in time, you should be ready and available to give your clients the needed service they need. So if you don't have the e-cash, well, it will depend on the person coming to do the deposit too. Because if you don't have e-cash and I have to pay for the charges of, I won't do. Rande Haji, me carry now your quality, I won't do. Do you understand me? If you don't have the e-cash, that's okay. That is you and your business. You would want your customers to go. I'd rather want to find the person who has enough e-cash and can do the deposit for me, so that I give the person the physical cash and move away.
Okay.
But I won't let you ask somebody. So what is it? If you are running a Momo business and you don't have 5,000 Ghana cedis to do e-cash, then what are you doing? What are you sitting there doing? You run out, and so you wait until somebody comes and then you tell the person you've run out. No, like you don't treat. Well, me, I don't know for you, but I won't run a business and you come and something is not available and I have to tell you, Asan. When it was signed, you didn't see. Like and it's one thing typical of so many Ghanaians. Yeah. They start something so nice, and then maybe you go to get in a service or something, a product, and they tell you it's finished. So when it was getting finished, you didn't see. You have to wait for the person to come, and you will see that the person will move to another space, the person will be treated well, and the person will stay there.
Yeah.
It's all part of the customer service. Yes, you are incurring costs, your production costs, and all. How is that my cost to bear? No, like why do I have to bear that? I won't do, Randy.
Okay, maybe let's hear from viewers on this particular one as well. What they make of this, you can share your experience with us, but there is also room for us to report some of these complaints. But to what extent, if you complain, what happens to the vendors? I mean, are they taken on? Do they make refunds? Are they punished for that? And what else? What is there?
Which telco company asks the customers to report the vendors?
Say again.
Which of the companies ask the customers to report the vendors?
No. So that's so that's the Momo fintech space.
The association people.
Yes. So they are the ones saying this. Do you get it? No, but you see, even if the telcos do send messages, maybe you can check.
They do, but
that if you are depositing, you don't pay. Exactly the point. So I think what the telcos can also do is probably create room for us to report. Maybe a toll-free number. Maybe else it will continue. And that's
it's continuing. And the people, it's how they will survive.
Okay. I think we have a first caller. Okay. Let's answer this. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Please, your name and where you're calling us from?
Okay,
Selikem from Adidume. Yeah, Sally, let's hear you.
Yeah. All right. So, I think this will be the second time we are having this conversation concerning these agents taking commissions on deposits. And the first time when we had this conversation, I made my stand clear that I'm a Momo agent as well. Just that for some time now, how easy the work has been is not like that anymore. But I will not subscribe to another agent taking charges on deposits, because I will never do that. I don't think it is the right thing to do. If you don't have enough, then you must inform the person that you don't have. But to the extent of taking charges on it, I don't subscribe to that. I don't really subscribe to that. And about some few weeks ago, even cash out, I went to do some cash out at a certain place where I was charged.
For cash out?
I withdrew. Yeah, I withdrew 3,000. So MTN will charge me 20 cedis on 3,000. And then the agent also take out 10 cedis.
Hey.
I was really mad, to be honest. I was really mad because I am an agent as well.
And Selikem, what was the reason for the 10 cedis charge?
I don't know because so because the charge is supposed to be 10%, and MTN already take 20.
20.
20. They have to add the rest. They have to take the rest out of it, and I was really mad. But unfortunately, some few days ago, like I was saying, my boss asked me to also. He wants me to be charging as well, like how the guy did to me. And I told him clearly that it will be very difficult for me to do that because even though the charges or the profit that we are getting on the Momo business is not that much, but it will be very difficult for me because it is something that I speak against. So it will be very difficult for me. So that's one thing that we are facing at the moment. So I will never subscribe to people charging. Charging on deposits. So that's my take on that.
Salikem, thank you for sharing that experience with us. Karim and Karen, you heard him. I mean, even cash out. You go to do cash out and they are charging you.
What is it? We will pay now.
Ghanaians, sometimes, what is this? What kind of profiteering is this one?
Ghanaians want to, you see, and these very people will point hands to the politicians that they are corrupt. I think give them small opportunity and they will want to amass all the wealth they think they can at a go. I won't pay Randy.
Cash out. And I'm still being charged 10 cedis.
You charge me too.
Cash out. And if I'm transferring, interesting. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Boss, your name and where are you calling us from?
I wish I could speak my local dialect if you allow me.
Okay.
My name is Café. I'm briefly taking my Tobodo magazine to be specific.
Okay.
Meka say, had the Tobodo magazine had a normal thing. Say, that's a wound kita. A sika will be here. There is no way to any part of the mount. There is no way a normal. Bibia will be beyond 1 year on mount. Who disturb a 2 hour council. Overcoat, who discard the court. The over can be an yard of a mount. This will clear. It is no question, this say, until I shall keep Sana Monadia. Any 1 year or 1 year, no 1 year fast because if I don't sound say, Uber side do Sikana for. Put the 10,000 crowd and the crowd, please obey 200 cities. A normal every blazing day.
Now, okay, but reason then almost then I didn't know how charge.
Reason the Obega just need cash. As a sort of personally, the coin and the challenge you catch him so mamma Mokai or Monji. My best camera the cotos or the coto Mimo line. Or the cotos no. And I may call charging a 20 city, and I'm a call 20 city, 10,000 Ghana, not charging 20 city also. Or to me, I mean, Jimmy Scanco, because some of your mamma moved to me so many years. Make a beer, and as a man, theaters on Farman and Yard or this kind of a so mammy. Into what should I do? Since then, Matia Money, who could be a normal, but could have go to one chair and wolf or Capra.
Okay.
Because the best thing the work has in me. Mobile life into an MTN life into which my Fred report a best thing to do.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Man, other man, okay, and say, would you scare for 2 accounts in our bank? No could do any paragraph to see here. And let me find out to see.
Okay. All right.
More advice, very good for some bad advice more.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your call and sharing your experience with us. So he says that in his area it's a norm. I mean, it's something that so now you see, like we keep saying, Ghana is not just about Accra. So this issue is all over. It's not just
beyond
my area, but it goes beyond just even Accra. Now, Clara is saying that even when sending, they ask if you are paying for. You are paying or you are sending or it's withdrawal. So if you go and say you want to send, that one is a different case altogether. That one comes with extra charges. That is if you are sending the money to somebody. That comes because that's what and that is why I'm making that point that if they don't genuinely, the agent doesn't have e-cash, of course the person would have to rely on another vendor or agenda. An agent to send to send the e-cash. Who pays for that transaction?
Well, I think they should sit down with MTN to agree on who pays that one. It shouldn't be the end consumers' cost to bear.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Randy.
Yes,
how are
boss.
you guys?
I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm blessed. It's been a while. This is George from Tema.
Okay, George, let's hear you.
Okay, so this topic goes beyond Mumu. Okay,
Yeah.
our mentality for selfish and huge profits as Ghanaians is way too much.
Yeah.
We want to do little or more.
Yeah.
Especially with this Mumu, I think because there's no competition with MTN, it has given them so much pride that now a Mumu vendor thinks he's doing you a favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever you go to do a deposit.
Yeah.
Because the attitude alone, even if you allow me to pay, no problem. But the attitude alone they will put up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go maybe maybe the vendor is there with the friends.
Yeah.
And you go to do maybe deposit of 100 or 200 cities.
Yeah.
Need a mini cow, need a mini cash. Down disrespect.
Yeah.
I'm someone that I don't hesitate to tell you my mind.
Yeah.
I blast some girl for Tema General Hospital. Everybody will come and say about her. I was at the hospital and someone called me that Charlie, the woman they born, they have prescribed medicine for him to buy. But I be like, it's short to make her help her with some money. And I have some in my account, but just I saw enough. I went there to deposit. This girl didn't even look at me like I'm a human being. That is the Momo issue aside. I think there should be competition in this. MTN has enjoyed too much monopoly.
Very.
But let's go beyond the Momo. Look at what is happening in the pure water sector.
Exactly.
The ministry said they should be putting on hold.
Yeah.
Now, a bag of water is 12 cedis.
Yes.
My brother, how much is fuel now?
Yeah.
When fuel comes down, drivers are not ready to comply to reduce fares.
Yeah.
But immediately the fuel, even if there's an announcement that the fuel will go for 1 CD, the next day they increase it.
Yeah.
But rather ask yourself, how much is a bag of maize now?
Yeah.
Yet people are still selling cookie for 7 CDs, 5 CDs. Even the 5 CDs, you cannot eat it. Our mind here, it be like we for put every. You see, if you go back to our education system too, whereby we've been treated with how do you call it, the West education from the beginning. If we could have been given our cultural values from the offset, I don't think this thing will be happening.
I agree. All right, thank you. And thank you so much. I mean, you nailed it. The attitude is even disgusting to start with. I mean, you are rendering a service, and I'm paying you for that service, and you're telling me what? I agree. Sometimes some of the customers or clients, we can be difficult, but Charlie, you are being paid for rendering that service. Speak well, treat people with some sort of courtesy and respect. It's terrible. On top of profiteering, you are still very rude in that shop. Now I told you, and I want to take it from that angle. I bought a bag of sachet water just this last week. I think early part of the week, Monday or so. Friday, I went back to that same shop. I bought it at 10 cedis. I went back to that same shop around the same time. And this woman looked me in the eye and sold it to me at 13 cedis. Or a penny kakra, so my hair to 13 cedis. I was hurt. Like, and I couldn't even question. I'm sure she would have realized the surprise in my face, but I just carried my water and cool it. I went off. So I asked, but I thought they said they've not even increased the prices yet. It's on hold for further deliberations and what have you. So how come it's charged? It's increased. Yesterday I spoke with somebody again. The person also, said the same thing, that they have increased it. Now on the street they sell it at 70 pesos per sachet. What is this? Why are we so cruel? Do we have a caller? Okay, I guess. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from? Hello. Okay. I think we lost that particular caller. We'll just pick some more and then we wind up the conversation on this one. 055-269-7939. 055-269-7939 is the number. You can also send a text anyway. If the line is too hot or too busy to join, you can send us a WhatsApp message or a text message. You can also join the show via all our social media platforms and drop your messages there. There is a caller. Good morning.
Morning.
Please, your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Abdallah calling from.
Okay, Abdallah, let's hear you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Please, I would just like to ask you, not necessarily the homo aspect, but the mentality of we Ghanaians. I think we are so cruel. The cruelty in us is just mind blowing. Just like what you said. Sometimes we.
Oh, I think we've lost him. Yeah. Now I think everybody is now talking about the mindset of us as a people. I mean, it doesn't really add up, and that's why I asked Karim about whether or not there is actually a percentage that they peg all these charges on, so that I know when I'm depositing 100, I am paying 10 pesos or 1 cedi. When I move to vendor A to vendor B, the price will not change. Then I know that it's something that they have agreed upon, but not to get 10 cedis from here. I mean, not to pay 10 cedis here. When I move to Clenham's vending point, then I'm paying 15 cedis or 12 cedis.
So it depends on your location.
No, la. There are hustlers in this.
If you are the only champion there, you decide what you want to take from the people.
All right. Good morning.
Too much. And I do Lancashire and all total taxes anymore. I say, all pricing over. In Cassie, to Jansen and make a me.
Okay. I think he was just talking about the fact that it's a serious thing in their area. So if I understood carefully, yeah. So let's look into it for us. Rather unfortunately, we were trying to get Mr. Shaibu Haruna. I mean, so we throw some of these questions to him. Unfortunately, I mean, one or two reasons, but it's a conversation we should definitely have. But I am also looking at the other key stakeholders in all of this, the telcos. They are aware. They can't pretend as if they don't know these issues. These reports are out there. Every now and then people complain about it. So what are they really doing about it? I mean, is there any proper medium or means of reporting some of these acts? Who gets it and how do they punish some of these people? Are they forced to make refunds, or is one of those things that we usually do, you report and much ado about nothing, nobody cares, nobody really thinks about doing anything at all?
Well,
okay, maybe we can pick this last caller and then we wrap it up. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please, your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Al Hassan. I'm calling from Tamale.
Okay, Al Hassan, what's the situation like or the experience in Tamale?
I'm surprised about what I'm hearing now. I've been to so many vendors here in Tamale to deposit money or withdraw. I never experienced anything like pay this amount, pay that amount. No, when I deposit 200 in my account, I see 200. I never give the vendor any amount. So I think this problem is from MTN. They have to check this system.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen in Tamale. I'm surprised that you are telling me these things in the other parts of the country.
Yeah.
So the situation is from MTN, who should check the vendors doing these things. I haven't experienced Tamale, honestly. You can call anybody in Tamale to see.
Okay.
They are doing genuine work here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's only when you withdraw that the taxes from MTN come on the street.
Directly.
Yeah. Otherwise, what I'm hearing now. It doesn't happen in Tamale at all. I haven't seen it. Thank you very much.
Al Hassan, thank you. And that's an experience from Tamale. So he says that Tamale, they don't even charge, I mean, for nothing. The only time they charge is when you are withdrawing. And that one directly is deducted by the telcos and not even the agents. So clearly it means that, Charlie, something is happening somewhere. Somebody one way or the other is just profiteering to the detriment of the end consumer, like you and I. And it's terrible. Well, maybe we just have to draw the attention of the is the NTA or the Ministry of Communications and then the other key stakeholders in that particular space. All right, folks, we'll take a break right here. After this, there is more. Stay with us.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma, Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the Puma. Oh yeah, come alive. Puma, Puma. Let me hear you. Puma. Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Okay, next one. Sit down. Look to camera.
This is what it looks like to be exceptional, to stand out from the crowd, to make history. But what if women didn't have to be exceptional? What if they didn't have to be the first, the best, or the only woman? What if being a female engineer wasn't remarkable? What if women and men could compete as equals? I don't want to make history. I don't want to be the only woman. I want to be one of many.
If you're watching this with your friends, you'll probably make a joke.
Because you know what you feel on the inside isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy,
find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself,
find someone you trust and tell them.
You are never alone when you share. Seriously, people care about you.
It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
And it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be.
You're never alone when you share.
Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone. Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother or sister.
Or just tell a friend.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
It's how things get better.
Welcome back to the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe, and yes, it's time to celebrate some birthdays this morning here, 21st April 2026. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you, and yeah, we will share with you on your special day. Let's get into our list of celebrants already and know who we are celebrating this morning. Okay, so Equia Emerald, happy birthday to you. She says she's 30 something small today. So yeah, happy birthday to you. Antinez, we celebrate you so much today. We appreciate you, and yes, we thank God for your life. May this year be a great and beautiful year for you, and yeah, from us at WoezorTV, we wish you the very best that life has got to offer. Happy birthday to you, Emerald. And moving on from here, who are we celebrating again this morning? To the ever amazing Dr. Jeffrey Ni Anyete Abe. Happy birthday to you, sir. I wish you a great year, beautiful year, an amazing year filled with lots of God's love and God's blessing. Yeah, continue to age gracefully, and yeah, we celebrate you so much and wish you the very best that life has got to offer. Dr. Abe, happy birthday to you. Away from him, who are we celebrating again? To our amazing twins, Jacqueline and Joanna Asante. Happy birthday to you, ladies. Jacqueline and Joanna Asante. This is coming from Frida Fair to you. She says that she thanks you. So I should say thank you on her behalf, yeah, for playing the big sister role in her life. So the two of you have really played some good big sister roles in her life, and yes, she celebrates you girls so much. Thank you for all that you do for her. We really appreciate you so much. And yeah, on the occasion of your birthday, we really pray for lots of blessings, lots of goodness, and all the good things that you pray for may be your portion this year and beyond. Jacqueline and Joanna Asante. This is coming from Frida to you, ladies. So away from Jacqueline and Joanna, we celebrate, okay, Jacqueline and Soma Yebua. Happy birthday to you, Jacqueline and Soma Yebua. This is coming from Belinda Kwanzaa to you. She wishes you a great year, blessed year, an amazing year. Jacqueline and Soma Yebua, have a great year, have a blessed year, filled with lots of God's blessing and God's love. And then yeah, she says, may God bless you in all your endeavors. So Jacqueline and Soma Yebua, this is coming from Belinda and Kwanzaa here at WoezorTV to you. Have a great year. Away from her, let's see who we are celebrating again this morning. Looks like the ladies with the J's are many here for birthdays this morning. So to my amazing sister, my amazing friend, my amazing everything, Jael na Agoa Kwashi, former team president for Gempa. Happy birthday to you. And you mean you job baba ni habo wala sekele e habo wala ni he wale jomi ke dwemo ke shika ke no papa fe no soli yo he you are then chakwani e ke drobu abu agragwe. Thank you so much for being that amazing sister to me, that amazing friend, amazing buddy, yeah. And on the occasion of your birthday, I only pray that the Lord will continue to bless you with more wisdom, endow you with every good thing you've prayed for and you've wished for. Have a great year. Have a wonderful year. Jael na Agoa Kwashi. And moving on from Jael, let's see who we are celebrating again this morning. To another amazing brother, Kwabna Bewa. Happy birthday to you, okay? May this year be a blessed year for you. May it be a beautiful year. May it be an amazing year for you, Kwabna Bewa. I celebrate you so much. I appreciate you for all that you do. And thank you for being such an amazing friend. From Anita and Shua Bonzi and myself, wish you a blessed year, great year, an amazing year filled with lots of God's love and God's blessing. May this year be a blessed year for you. May be a beautiful year too for you, Kwabna Bewa. Happy birthday to you. And away from him, who are we celebrating again this morning? Padiki Abigail, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. May this year be a great year for you. May this year be an amazing year for you. Wish the very best that life has got to offer. Happy birthday to you. Away from Abigail, who are we celebrating again this morning. Drip Lord, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Drip Lord. This is coming from Selassie here at WoezorTV to you. Yeah, he wishes you a great year. So yeah, bless up, Drip Lord. Happy birthday to you. Away from him, let's celebrate Prophet George Clottey. Yes. Prophet George Ni Atukwe Clottey. Happy birthday to you, man of God. We celebrate you today. The Lord bless this year for you, and may all that you do in this year and beyond be a great blessing. And may the Lord continue to lift up his countenance upon you. Yes, may your head never lack oil. Happy birthday to you, Prophet George Ni Atukwe Clottey. Away from him, who are we celebrating again this morning? Mr. Augustine Aboni Senior, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Augustine Aboni Senior. This is coming from Ni here at WoezorTV. He says, "I should wish you a great year, a blessed year. May the Lord continue to endow you with many years and strength, and have a great year, have a blessed year." Mr. Augustine Aboni Senior. Away from Mr. Augustine Senior, who are we celebrating again? Okay, so Patrick Enyonam Aboni, right? So happy birthday to you too. May this year be a great year for you. Maybe a blessed year for you. Also coming from me here at WoezorTV to you, wishes you a great year, blessed year, an amazing year filled with lots of God's love. Bask in the grace of God. Happy birthday to you. Do we still have some more celebrants? Okay, so Rejoice Agbechiafa. It's your birthday today, Rejoice Agbechiafa. May this year be a blessed year for you. Maybe a beautiful year. Maybe a great year for you. Have a blessed, have a great year. And yes, we wish you the very best that life has got to offer. Rejoice Agbechiafa. So that will be it for birthdays this morning here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. Please do what to keep your wishes coming into our WhatsApp number 055-269-7939. 055-269-7939. Let's share your special day and that of your loved ones. Randy is on standby for newspaper review. Over to you, Randy.
All right, so now thank you so much. Let's quickly head to the dashboard and take a look at what the papers are saying this morning. We'll start with the front page of the Daily Graphic. It says government boosts power supply capacity, 2,500 transformers being installed nationwide, and this was clarified yesterday as well. Asante Hiniane's President Mahama, 2 former presidents with gold medal. Daily Guide, CSOs criticized over natural resource distraction silence. It's a story on page 3 of the paper. Intimidation can't break NPP, Bawumia to government. A story on page 3. And something on Chairman Wontumi. The caption says Wontumi gets another chance to file witness statement. The Ghanaian publisher Demo Rocks Adamus Mining, a lands minister urged to act. And also Bawumia to Mahama, stop harassing critics. Court allows Wontumi to file witness statement. The Chronicle, Enzima youth kick against illegal mining by foreign nationals on Adamus concession. Government rules out operation keep the light on to stabilize power supply. And also AG asks court to convict Wontumi. Interesting times ahead. Daybreak newspaper says ADB MD Lord Gepa over non-traditional export initiative. The national security operatives run amok, beat ex-cop to pulp. That's what the paper is reporting. The catalyst also says resetting local governance. Mahama pours billions into districts as new performance regime takes hold. It's a conversation we will be having this morning. The Dispatch newspaper, NDC will split votes with NPP in Ashanti in 2028 election, as Seydou Nketia says. The full story is on page 12 of the Daily the Dispatch newspaper. With the approval of President Mahama, 19 senior police officers promoted. There's a story on page 2 of the paper. The overseer, when opportunity comes, prioritize NDC youth. Okai Minta urges appointees and also battle for NDC deputy communication slots. 5 names emerge, and the pictures of the names are rightly put out here. Okay, very interesting. But let's move on to Daily Post. Government investing nearly 50 billion cedis in road reconstruction. That's according to Mahama. BNFT CSO's call for reforms to strengthen myth. A story on page 2 of the paper. And also the big one here, a Bank of Ghana targets diaspora billions for bonds, SMEs and infrastructure. The business analyst, government injects 5 million Ghana cedis into district assemblies, resets local governance after years of DACF, that's the District Assembly Common Fund irregularities. The archives also says tensions in MPP over push to change minority leadership. It's a conversation that is unfolding. Feeding crisis hits SHS nationwide. Charles threatens shutdown over funding 7 months arrears. Hopefully that will be clarified in the coming days. But finally, here the National Enquirer says Supreme Court at 150 government reaffirms support for judiciary, and also KGL Foundation assists OT Regional Hospital. And finally, OEB police grabs 2 in possession of 40 bundles of suspected stolen ECG cables. You see what we do to ourselves? Imagine, you see what we do to ourselves. Then when the lights go off, we are calling a buy. Anyway, that is it with the newspaper review segment. Now is on standby to give us the details. Now, what do we have?
Thank you so much, Randy, for the newspaper review. Time now for the WoezorTV report. Let's take a look at the headlines. Now let's take a look at the stories for today. The Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, says funding to metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies has seen a major boost. He revealed that while only 362 million Ghana cedis were released in 2024, a total of 5 billion Ghana cedis has been disbursed in 2025 alone across all 4 quarters. The funds were allocated for key projects including CHIPS compounds, classroom blocks, boreholes, and completion of legacy projects, with 25% set aside for 24-hour economy model market. Speaking at the Government Accountability Series, the minister says the move is accelerating development at the local level.
An amount of 987 million Ghana cedis was released to the administrator of this Assembly Common Fund. Per the law, 80% of that was to be sent to the district assemblies. And out of that, 790 million was sent to the MMDEs as 80% of the money. Then, for the second quarter, 1.8 billion was sent. And out of that, 1.4 billion was disbursed at 80% of the MMDEs. The third quarter, 1.46 billion was sent, and out of that, 1.18 billion was sent at the 80%. On the last quarter, 1.9 billion was sent as the total grant figure. Out of that, 1.592 billion was sent directly to the MMDEs at the 80%. And this was to be used for the development projects in each MMDE per the approved guidelines as follows. At least every district assembly was to build at least 2 chief compounds, at least 3 classroom blocks, at least 25% of the money for 24-hour economy market, at least 10% for furniture, at least 10% for boreholes, at least 10% for sanitation, and at least at most 5% for recurrent expenditure. My brothers and sisters, these were the compliance indicators. District assemblies have so many sources of money. Yours is to, economic viability is one of the criteria for creation of districts. Yours is to create an improvised means of generating money locally. So the common fund is not your only fund. You have other funds. And that's why we said you can use, out of this, you can use only 5%. The rest is for developmental infrastructure. Let the people fill the central government.
The minister further disclosed that more than half of Ghana's metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies failed the recent government performance assessment. According to him, out of the 261 assemblies assessed, 143 failed to meet the benchmark, while only 118 passed.
161 metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies, 143 of them failed and 118 of them passed. The pass mark was 36/100. So it tells you, when I gave the narrative, the preamble, that the assembly concept was characterized by a dysfunctioning local governance system. These are the records. And we did not assess them alone. We did the assessment with the KFW, Bank of Germany, and the Swiss State of Economic Affairs, SECO, the Switzerland ambassador and the German ambassador, together with the Interministerial Coordinating Committee, the Ministry of Local Government, the head of service, the Institute of Local Government Studies, with a combined team, did the assessment, and it was digital. So even in my own region, out of the 12 districts, only 5 passed.
Now moving on to issues in energy, the Electricity Company of Ghana has announced a major investment plan aimed at ending persistent power outages and lower voltage in parts of the country. The acting managing director, Engineer Kwame Kpekpena, says the challenges are largely due to years of underinvestment in the distribution network. He made this known at a media briefing in Accra. There's more by Rahel Samoa.
Supply remain relatively stable in many areas. Several communities continue to experience erratic outages and low voltage. ECG admitted the situation has disrupted homes, businesses, and essential services. According to the company, the root of the problem lies in aging infrastructure, overloaded transformers, and stalled projects caused by funding constraints. The acting managing director of ECG, Engineer Kwame Kpekpena, says the focus is now shifting to strengthening the distribution network to ensure reliable delivery of electricity to consumers. He said ECG is rolling out a 3.46 billion Ghana cedis investment program, which includes the injection of 2,500 new transformers, replacement of damaged equipment, and upgrading key substations across the country.
The electricity reliability challenges confronting Ghanaians today stem from multiple intersecting pressures. Some of them are structural, some are operational, and some financial. A significant portion of ECG distribution network, including transformers, cables, and substations, are overloaded. They have exceeded the thermal limits. Over the years, rapid urbanization and population growth have placed enormous additional demand on the network that has not been upgraded at a commensurate pace. The result is widespread overloading.
Engineer Kpekpena also said the program will also address rotting poles, vegetation interference, and technical losses, while stop projects are expected to resume by May 2026 following new government funding support. He says areas like Kumasi, Volta, Oti, and part of Accra will see targeted interventions to improve reliability.
The challenges we face are real, complex, and in some cases, the accumulated consequence of years of underinvestment, leading to pockets of outages and low voltages. But we are not standing still. We have a plan and we have a schedule. And we are committing tremendous resources to addressing these challenges.
ECG has apologized to consumers affected by the outages and assures to the public of improved service delivery in the coming month. The company also pledged to provide regular updates as the implementation progresses. For WoezorTV, Rachel Asamoah.
Now, Ghana's business and policy leaders are charting a new course for economic growth following the launch of the 10th Ghana CEO Summit and Expo in Accra. The milestone event marks a decade of high-level dialogue aimed at shaping the country's development. There's more in this report.
Ghana CEO Summit and Expo has been launched in Accra
marking a decade of economic dialogue and a shift towards implementation-driven growth. Founder and CEO of the Chief Executive Network Ghana, Ernest Digraviji, described the milestone as a platform that has connected business, government and investment to shape Ghana's development, adding that the focus must now move from dialogue to measurable impact.
After 10 years of dialogue, Ghana must now enter a decade of execution, accountability, and measurable transformation. From policy formulation to implementation, from intent to delivery, from ambition to results.
This year's theme emphasizes accelerating economic transformation through leadership, technology, and industrialization. Chairman of the occasion, Moses Baden Jr. warned that global uncertainties, including geopolitical tensions and financial restrictions, are reshaping the business landscape, urging Ghana to build resilient, locally driven systems to reduce external vulnerabilities.
When we think about supply chain and import substitution, we need to understand that global disruptions can cause vulnerabilities that affect industrialization and production. We have to think locally and transfer most of the supply chain locally so we can control our own destiny.
CEO of the Volta River Authority, Engineer Edward Obin Kenzo, reaffirmed the sector's commitment to reliable power as a key driver of industrial growth.
The VI remains committed to its goal for supporting industrial growth and economic transformation through the supply of safe and reliable power, strategic investment, and institutional leadership.
The summit, scheduled for May 28 in Accra, will bring together government, industry leaders, and investors for high-level dialogues, including a presidential business session expected to launch the CEO Government Compact 2026, aimed at aligning policy with private sector group. WoezorTV, Ellen from Pong.
Now to other stories. The Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations has opened a 3-day high-level delegation meeting with Gambia's Ministry of Technology and Science in Accra. The meeting follows the February 2026 state visit of President John Dramani Mahama to Zambia, during which both parties signed several memoranda of understanding, including a key agreement on communications, technology, and fintech collaboration. In a decisive move to operationalize the MOU, the two ministries are convening this 3-day engagement to deepen cooperation and outline concrete areas for implementation. Zambia's Minister for Technology and Science, Felix Matiti, underscored the importance of leveraging emerging technologies, urging African youth to harness the potential of artificial intelligence to develop solutions to the continent's challenges.
Technologies, particularly artificial intelligence, compare notes. That's what I can say, compare notes. Are we using and employing that to solve some of the critical challenges that we face as Africans, as the two countries, and much more going forward? And the answers are with you. We are probably, rightly so, able to boast that using a startup and artificial intelligence, we're able to discover the biggest deposit of copper in 100 years. So, and startups are you. So give us the discovery. Give us the discoveries. We must be able to say that we went to Ghana and then when we exchange these things, we have been able to cure malaria. You know, that's what we are looking for. Solutions. Big stuff. Not incremental. Not merely improving flow of transaction. We want something transformative.
Now, Ghana's Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nate George, emphasized the significance of the meeting, describing it as a crucial step towards strengthening bilateral cooperation and advancing the implementation of the Ghana-Zambia Technology and FinTech Partnership.
Be a period of learning, let it be a period of sharing, and let it be a period of us building the strong alliances and bonds that matter to us. The framework that we're going to be running is going to be complementary. We don't have a lot of time, and so we're going to have multiple engagements running simultaneously.
Some international news. Now, more than 200 civilians held captive in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo by armed men linked to the Islamic State have been rescued in an army operation. Ugandan soldiers working with their Congolese counterparts targeted a camp controlled by the Allied Democratic Forces, a militant group that has its origin in Uganda. Children were among those freed, the youngest being a 14-year-old girl, according to the Ugandan statement. The ADF was originally formed in Uganda in the 1990s by people disgruntled by the government's treatment of Muslims. But after being routed by the army there, the remnant fled across the border. In 2021, Uganda and DR Congo launched a joint offensive to drive the ADF out of the Congolese stronghold, but it has so far failed to put an end to the group's attack. Now, this brings us to the end of the WoezorTV report. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Karen Naoyokoti.
We can be the generation that ends it for good.
Malaria must die, so millions can live.
Embarrassed. Too embarrassed to speak to a loved one. Too embarrassed to speak to your doctor.
Too embarrassed. When in our lifetime, 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer.
Let me repeat that. 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer disease.
1 in 12. That could be your dad, even your older brother, uncle, or grandfather.
You need to make sure they are not embarrassed to speak to you or their doctor about it.
Hey, Dad, have you had your prostate checked out? See? How hard is that? It's easy. Just start the conversation.
Prostate cancer is survivable if caught and treated early enough.
Don't let embarrassment stop you having this important conversation.
You may save someone's life.
Not just your own.
If you're watching this with your friends, you'll probably make a joke. Because you know what you feel on the inside
Isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy,
Find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself,
Find someone you trust and tell them.
you are never alone when you share. Seriously, people care about you.
It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
and it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be.
You're never alone when you share.
Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone. Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother or sister.
Or just tell a friend.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
It's how things get better.
All right, let's talk sports on the Breakfast Cafe. My name is Godfred Amwafo, starting from the camp of the Blasters. We are still in preparation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Of course, every issue around the Blasters is what we're talking about. And this morning, resuming straight to our new coach that has been appointed, Kairos, because he will be addressing the media on Thursday, April 23 at the Alisa Hotel here in Accra. The event scheduled for 1 p.m. will bring together members of the media to interact with the Portuguese trainer following his appointment as the Blasters head coach last week. Kairos will use the platform to share his vision for the team, align his technical philosophy, and answer questions from the media ahead of this summer's FIFA World Cup in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Now, the unveiling also provides an opportunity to formally introduce the coach to Ghanaian public, set expectations for the World Cup campaign, and foster alignments between the technical team, the media, and supporters. Ghana, you know, will be making their fifth appearance at the Mundial and have been drawn in Group L. We are still reminding you alongside Panama, England, and Croatia, and so it is important that he addresses the public about his vision towards these games, because Ghana is expecting that you win this year's World Cup. It is possible. We should go and win. Now, away from our new coach, who we expect to address us on Thursday, Kairos, let's zoom straight to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Now, the interim head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Prince Yao Owusu, has stepped down from his role with immediate effect. Now, the coach stated in his resignation letter that his decision was taken in the greatest interest of the club. Management expressed its sincere appreciation to the coach for his service, dedication, and commitment during his time with the club, and wished him the very best of luck in his future endeavors. Now, Asante Kotoko says in the interim, youth coach Hamza Obeng will take charge of the team for the remaining games of the season, and they are still on further arrangements to get a new or substantive head coach, and the club says that will be announced at the appropriate time. So this statement was signed by Safuduku, who is the communications director. Of course, lawyer Safuduku has been doing a lot for Kumasi Asante Kotoko ever since he took that role as the communication director. And so as I speak, the interim coach, he replaced Karim Zito. He has also stepped down. Things are not going well for him, and so it is important that he leave the room while the room is hot. And so Hamza will be taking over. He is the youth coach. He'll be taking over the club for now before they get a main coach for the coming season. Now, elsewhere in England, yesterday it wasn't a good news for Wolverhampton Wanderers, because they have been broken in spirits. Of course, since November, manager Rob Edwards has been attempting the difficult task of piecing them together, handed with many considered a near impossible challenge. He has ultimately been unable to prevent the slide. Relegation from the Premier League was confirmed following West Ham's 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace on Monday, now sealing Wolves' fate after a season of relentless struggle. The club
have been anchored to the bottom of the table since the third week of the campaign, managing just 3 league victories. And yet, even in the midst of a wretched season, there remains a quiet sense of possibility within the club, an expectation that better times may still lie ahead. But the optimism sides uneasily alongside a slow, steadily decline that has brought Wolves to this point. A fractured campaign, both on and off the pitch, has exposed deeper issues. And so Wolves have been relegated, and it is confirmed we are not going to see them in the Premier League next season. It's sad, of course. You remember the times that Nuno Espirito Santos was there. This team will beat all the big clubs. And ever since he left, the team has never been the same. And now they find themselves in the Championship next season. It's not good for them, but this is how it is. This is football, and this is how you draw the curtains on sports. Entertainment will come your way after the break. I am Godfred Amwafo. Stay tuned.
Okay, next one. Sit down. Look to camera.
This is what it looks like to be exceptional, to stand out from the crowd, to make history. But what if women didn't have to be exceptional? What if they didn't have to be the first, the best, or the only woman? What if being a female engineer wasn't remarkable? What if women and men could compete as equals? I don't want to make history. I don't want to be the only woman. I want to be one of many.
Gentlemen, I've got some bad news and some good news.
Okay, the bad news is that your chances of getting prostate cancer are now just 7 to 1. In fact, prostate cancer is killing 1 man every single hour of the day in this country. Imagine that, 1 every hour of the day. But the good news is, we're forming a team to stop that clock. Men United.
It's time men united together to fight prostate cancer, the way women have united against breast cancer. We need to get together and find a cure, as well as better ways to care for the 250,000 prostate cancer sufferers out there. Please, get on side and join us in the fight. Men United versus prostate cancer. We can win this.
Do you want a sugar-free, freshly squeezed fruit juice? Choose Greenline fruit juice and smoothies. Filled with vitamin C, calcium, iron, fiber, and zinc, every drop of Greenline juice and smoothies is naturally made to give you energy, good health, and refreshment. Enjoy your favorite Greenline orange, pineapple passion, watermelon, pineapple and turmeric, pineapple beetroot, pineapple and ginger, and healthy green. Greenline fruit juice and smoothies, powered by nature.
So watching the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe, I am Evergreen Asanto, and this is the entertainment update. Now this morning, comedian Peter Kay is back into the comedy space. Yes, you heard that right, and it's been quite some time we heard from him, so that's some good news also there. And of course, Dr. Terry was also back in the news. Yes, the dancing, in fact, there are so many names people have for him on social media. The dancing teacher and what have you. So there's a more coming your way shortly, but let's start off with issues concerning the shutdown of the National Theatre. And as plans move forward to renovate Ghana's main performance hub, concerns are growing within the creative community, and George Quay is calling on the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture to delay the shutdown of the National Theatre of Ghana until alternative venues are secured. Now, speaking in an interview, he warned that closing the theatre now could disrupt the entire performance and performing arts ecosystem. Now, with key venues like the Accra International Conference Center already unavailable, George Quay stressed that other spaces are either too expensive or not suitable for stage productions. Now, while he supports the planned renovation funded by a $30 million Chinese grant, he believes that timing is critical to avoid crippling the theatre operations in Accra. And that is also what he is saying. And yeah, like I said, concerns are coming up. People seem to have a lot of, issues in terms of that, and I don't blame them, because the Accra International Conference Center is currently not working, and we also know that the Fantasy Dome is also currently not working. So it's quite complicated, and it's as a result of that, this CSTGMA is not even happening there. It is now happening at the Palms Convention Center. So it's a whole lot. So I sort of can relate and also agree with him. Maybe we should find alternative venues. Then maybe we can look at the renovation. Of course, we need the renovation. Very, very important. If you've been at the National Theatre, you know that we need a lot of things working, and even working even better for all of us to enjoy and have fun whenever we use the auditorium. So I'm very sure that we'll be able to maneuver our way and then find the best possible ways to renovate the National Theatre. Now let's talk about Dr. Bright Terry Ofosu, and he says that teaching isn't just a job, and it's an extension of who he is. So the University of Ghana lecturer shared that his lifelong passion for dance makes the classroom feel more like a creative space than a workplace. Now, speaking on Channel 1, he explained that turning passion into a profession has been deeply fulfilling, and he also highlighted how working with students adds excitement to his role. Now, with their different personalities making every class dynamic. Now, from his days as a national dance champion to shaping future performers, Ofosu continues to play a key role in Ghana's dance education space. And Dr. Terry is like the ish now, and I'm very sure that as a result of this eyeballs that is currently happening, people will go to the University of Ghana, and all what they just want to do is offer theatre art. Of course, who wouldn't want to dance? And for some of us who are good dancers and we love to dance, I would love to have Dr. Terry as a teacher. Maybe he could take my dancing skills to a different level. And there's so much joy, so much passion whenever you see him dance. It just puts some smiles on your face, and it brings you some sort of comfort. Like that man, I don't know, maybe it's also because of his age, but it's just so interesting. It's nice and fascinating to see him dance. Every single time I chance on his video, I just pause and I make sure I watch it and I smile and then I scroll. So I know that a lot of you can relate to that, but let's move away from that. Let's also talk about this catalog sales that is currently happening. So protecting a legacy can sometimes mean turning down big money, and that's exactly what Femi Kuti and his family chose to do. So in a recent interview, he revealed that despite multiple offers, the family refused to sell the music catalog of Afrobeat legend Fela and Nicola Kuti. Now, the decision, he said, was largely influenced by his sister Yeni Kuti, who was determined to preserve their father's legacy. Now, instead, the family opted to license the music temporarily while maintaining ownership. Now, according to Femi, this approach ensures continued royalties and keeps control of Fela's work within the family for future generations. And I love to see this. It's absolutely good to know that his catalog hasn't been sold and the family can still make some small earnings out of this, because people still listen to him. It's just like yesterday we were talking about Michael Jackson. He is making the money, and
I'm very sure that even people in Africa and across the globe still listens to Fela Kuti. Trust me, especially when it's, you know, the traditional months and then days and what have you. People are always listening to him on a daily basis. So I'm happy to see this, and I was so excited when I came across this story. But let's also talk about a comedy. So after more than 2 decades, Peter Kay is heading back to where it all began. So the comedian has announced 4 special shows at the Albert Halls, with all proceeds going to Bolton Hospice, scheduled for July 9th to 7th. And the performances are part of his ongoing Better Late Than Never tour. And in a move to give back directly to his community, ticket sales will be limited to local residents, and the shows also add to his wider charitable efforts, with funds from his tour already supporting multiple cancer charities. And I love to see this too as well. Like, who would have thought, right? After 2 decades, we saw, we just, like, you just wake up and like you see that this comedian is back, English comedian is back, and you're like, okay, where has he been? Like, what happened, right? So I am so happy. And if you don't know this man, maybe you should hop on social media and find out more about him and also some of his old comedies, and you know exactly what we are talking about. I mean, I can't show you all the videos, but I've told you about him. He's an English comedian, and then he's so funny, trust me. And we haven't seen him in a very long time. And then I woke up one day and then I saw the story and he's back. And there's been so many comments on social media, and it makes me happy. I mean, people love comedy lately. And I love to see that people are trying to smile through people's work through comedy. So of course, we're all excited to see him back. So welcome. These are some of the things that we love to see. And that will be all for today's entertainment update here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and at 2 p.m. Tune Talk comes your way. We talk the tune and we live the vibe. I am Evergreen Santua. This has been the entertainment update. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Morning to your viewers, and once again welcome to WoezorTV's Wellbeing segment. I'm paramedic Martin Amwa from the National Ambulance Service. I function as a clinical auditor in the service. So advancing the cause of health and safety at the workplace. And today we are going to take a segment, or we are going to take an aspect on a topic we call cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So we are going to take you through the procedure of performing CPR on the patient. All right, so if you say cardiopulmonary resuscitation, what are we talking about? is what we do, the procedure that we use to revive somebody who has gone into cardiac arrest. Someone will be asking, what is cardiac arrest? So cardiac arrest simply refers to the instant seizure of the function of the heart. If a heart stops to pump. Now, basically, the function of the heart in the body is to ensure that blood circulates through all parts of the body. The heart acts as a pump, and it pushes the blood through blood vessels. So for some reasons, health conditions or traumatic situations, it can cause a sudden seizure of the heart. And when this happens, it means that we can say that the individual is in what we call cardiac arrest. And when this happens, time is of essence. Within the next few minutes, if nothing is done to revive this individual, the person goes into complete biological death. All right, so in talking about cardiac arrest and how to revive a person in cardiac arrest, remember I mentioned that time is of essence. If somebody goes into sudden cardiac arrest, within the first 4 minutes, if nothing is done to revive the heart, for the heart to start pumping, the person will go into what we call biological death, which is irreversible. It's not easy for the person to come back to life and live a normal life. So you need to make sure that as soon as somebody goes into cardiac arrest, first aid trainer, somebody who has been a first aider should be around to be able to institute what you call the CPR, which is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So how is the procedure done? The first thing is ensure safety. Once again, you have to make sure that your scene is safe. Then you move in the appropriate PPEs, get to your patient, and make sure that the patient is lying on the back and is face up on the hard flat surface. You need to check for the response. After ensuring that the scene is safe, the next thing is to check for response of the patient. So you go to the patient and tap. Hello, 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 sir. Can you hear me? Hello. You can tap either side. Once you tap the patient is not responding. It tells you that there's an emergency situation. You can call someone to activate the 112 for help. Call for help. The next thing you need to do, come back to the patient, assess and make sure that there is sign of life. The patient is breathing. How will you know that someone is breathing? If you see there is an obvious rise and fall of the chest, it shows that the person is breathing, okay? Now, if there's obvious rise and chest of the chest, you have to do that in alignment with also checking pulse. If you have been trained to check for pulse, you can check for the pulse around this place, just next to the Adam's apple in the middle of the neck. You can just slide on each side. You palpate, you can feel a pulse. If there is no pulse, it means that the patient is in what we call cardiac arrest. You need to institute immediate measures to restart the heart. How do you do that? By kneeling beside the patient lying face up on a hard flat surface. You expose the chest of the patient. Then you have the heel of one hand positioned in between the chest. In the center of the chest, there is a bone we call the sternum, also called the breastbone. It's between the two breasts, the left and the right breast. You position the heel of one hand in the center, this way. So you can use the nipple line as your marker. The nipple line, in between the two nipple lines, you position the heel of one hand there. You interlock it with the other hand, kneel beside the patient, and you begin to exert what we call chest compressions. You do that 30 times, then you administer rescue breath for the patient. So you go in 30 times. Now, how fast are you going? I mentioned you go in 100 to 120 times per minute, which means approximately 2 compressions per second. That is how fast you should go. And you are doing this for 30 times. So you kneel beside the patient, face up, expose the chest, then you have your hand positioned in between the breasts, the two breasts, the left and the right breast on the the sternal bone. Then you begin to compress. And how deep will you go? We are going deep as 2.5 inches. That's approximately about 5 centimeters deep. That is how deep you are going. So you compress 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. After you've done this, you have what you call the face shield, which is usually in a standard first aid kit. You put it in the face of the patient this way. You pinch the tip of the nose. You open up the airway of the patient this way by doing what you call the head tilt and chin lift. So you pinch the tip of the nose, then you blow the air through the mouth of the patient. You do it 2 times. Put your mouth around the patient's mouth and breathe twice. blow air into the patient's mouth 2 times. And this is what we call rescue breath. Once you are done with the 2 breaths, you come back, position your hand once again at the center of the chest with the heel of one hand, you interlock it, you go in 30 times again. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. We are doing this for 30 times. So you are pushing hard and fast. You see that you are not bending the elbows. You keep your elbows straight. You do this for 30 times. You go back and you give your what? Rescue breath 2. You breathe into the patient's mouth twice, around the mouth twice. You go back, then 30 compressions again. So you do this in that cycle of 5 cycles of 30 compressions, 2 rescue breath, many a times. When you do this in a timely manner, by the first cycle, you're able to get the patient back to life. So this is what we mean by performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation, which is popularly known as CPR, for somebody who has gone into cardiac arrest. It's not any patient who collapses that you do this for. You need to what? Assess the patient before you know whether the patient is in cardiac arrest or the patient is just a collapsed patient. If it's a collapsed patient, is still breathing, has a pulse, you can put the patient in what we call the recovery position whilst you what? Still assess the patient, awaiting for the arrival of professional help. So as I mentioned, you see in the procedure, I mentioned that the first thing is ensuring the safety of the scene. After ensuring the safety of the scene, you come in with the appropriate personal protective equipment. You have your gloves on, you get to your patient, let the patient be placed what? Face up position, expose the chest. Then you make sure that you what? Check for response of the patient. Now you tap the patient. You tap the patient. When you tap the patient, there is no response, you have to call for help. That calling for help, I imply, for instance, calling the 112, the ambulance services to come on scene. Before they get on scene, you have to get back to your patient and institute the CPR procedure to make sure that by the time they come, fortunately, you have your patient back to life. Thank you.
In the early hours of a Ghanaian morning, 2 breakfast champions rise to feed the nation. Wache and Hausa Cocoa. Bold, comforting and irresistibly Ghanaian, these dishes are more than just food, they are a way of life. But which of these meals is the most sought after Ghanaian breakfast? So, we head to the streets to hear what everyday Ghanaians think.
My ideal Ghanaian breakfast is wache. I mean, what else? It has to be wache.
Cocoa. Because as more than me, person need to be a do. Never meeting me out. But Mumiti and Cocoa. But Betty Martin and Passa Fruia. Santa Cra, Adiabasan.
In the morning, I have to heat up before going to work. So I think when I take in cocoa, it gives me the morale to at least to heat up to go and work.
Watch it because I can add more of protein to it. I like proteins a lot. So I'm able to add my vegetables, my salad, my meat, my sausage and everything. And it sustains me for a long period at work. Instead of cocoa that I'll take in the morning, I'll probably have to get lunch. But watching can sustain me from morning to like say afternoon. And when I go home, I'll have my dinner.
Checked in with vendors who serve these breakfasts daily and brought in a nutritionist to break it down.
Cocoa na metonenye se obi wo ha won pe cocoa but wonum mi cocoa na we se de bia.
Eya mi manya manu ekom. Koko ewo baby a obia lunkona lungu bio. Uche ma unhu koko. But obi mu obe chai lungu na waba wo. Wa ushe baby na waba beto because send me yenu maybe a different she so obiji.
Wache di aduane eye anapa aduane breakfast. E sori anajo 11 na amache 3. Ebedu amache 3 no. Na ni nyina aben. Till 4:30 na ye wa.
Now that we know what your ideal breakfast is, what's your ultimate wache combo or your favorite cocoa pairing?
So I like more protein and veggies.
Wache with salad, with spaghetti, gari. I mean, with everything, with the egg, with the meat, with the wele, and some fish. Maybe some sausage.
I like my wache with spaghetti, egg, fish, fried plantain, and then sausage.
If I get light cocoa plus kose, where they open up the bread they put out inside, then I'm good to go.
I think the leaves gives a different vibe. See, when it's in the leaves and then you spread it like that, then you see all the proteins on it. You are seeing egg, you are seeing fish, wele, yamadiens. I want it very suchy, so I'm seeing everything on it.
But what are the benefits that these two options come with? We spoke to food nutritionist Nana Sewa.
Let's talk about wache and Hausa cocoa as an ideal Ghanaian breakfast. Now we are going to look at it as to whether these foods I just mentioned is a balanced meal. Now if I take wache is made up of beans and rice. Typically, that is what wache is made up of. But then there's a combination of either stew and shito in addition. Others will add salad, spaghetti, some will have gari, some will add fried plantain to it, or even fried sausage. All these things are some combinations people have when it comes to wache. Now, talking about Hausa cocoa is made with millet, with pepper, ginger, cloves, and other spices based on how the one preparing it wants to make it. So if we want to talk about a balanced diet, wache having its beans and rice factor gives us proteins and carbohydrates there. And adding the gari, the spaghetti, all these are carbohydrate sources, so they add carbohydrates again. Now when we talk about sausage, fish, meat, these are protein sources. So for a typical Ghanaian wache combo, I would say that wache is a balanced meal. Hausa cocoa on its own has millet and the spices. These spices are good sources of antioxidants that are good for our body. Now the millet is also a carbohydrate source. So with Hausa cocoa alone standing, I wouldn't just call it a balanced meal. But what comes with the Hausa cocoa? Some would add kose. This kose has beans and is also fried, so it introduces protein into the diet and a bit of fats and oils there.
Beautiful submission from Nana Masewa. But who cares about science when you are hungry?
Me, if I take cocoa there, that will boost me the whole day.
If you get a good wache, Charlie, stop.
Minum cocoa, the same. Minum cocoa. Oh, mbeti mate na osa, mbeti mate na mamusa. Up to uya ana anumere.
Cocoa is, I don't know, it's kind of bland. Sometimes if I take cocoa, I'd sleep. But if I take wache, I'm prepared for the day. I'm prepared for battle.
Whether you are digging into a spicy plate of wache or sipping warm Hausa cocoa in the morning, one thing is clear. Breakfast in Ghana is more than just a meal. It's a delicious ritual. So what is your pick?
All right, so welcome back. Many thanks for still staying with us right here on WoezorTV. Remember, this is the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. You know what I almost said?
Yes.
The interview and then the dialogue. It's all good. Anyway, but we are heading into the next leg quickly. Yesterday, we brought you the live updates from the presidency, where the Minister for Local Government had his stand to address the nation as far as this sector is concerned. I am more interested in even the breakdown with the 5 billion, right? But before then, let's just recap what happened yesterday. Let's take a look at it.
In the first quarter, an amount of 987 million Ghana cedis was released to the administrator of this Assembly Common Fund. Per the law, 80% of that was to be sent to the district assemblies. And out of that, 790 million was sent to the MMDEs as 80% of the money. Then, for the second quarter, 1.8 billion was sent. And out of that, 1.4 billion was disbursed at 80% of the MMDEs. The third quarter, 1.46 billion was sent, and out of that, 1.18 billion was sent at the 80%. On the last quarter, 1.9 billion was sent as the total grant figure. Out of that, 1.592 billion was sent directly to the MMDEs at the 80%. And this was to be used for the development projects in each MMDA per the approved guidelines as follows. At least every district assembly was to build at least 2 chief compounds, at least 3 classroom blocks, at least 25% of the money for 24-hour economy market, at least 10% for furniture, at least 10% for boreholes, at least 10% for sanitation, and at most 5% for recurrent expenditure. My brothers and sisters, these were the compliance indicators. District assemblies have so many sources of money. Yours is to economic viability is one of the criteria for creation of districts. Yours is to create an improvised means of generating money locally. So the common fund is not your only fund. You have other funds. And that's why we said you can use, out of this, you can use only 5%. The rest is for developmental infrastructure. Let the people feel the central government.
All right, so guys, there you heard the minister, very emphatic statement. And I will soon run through some of the key highlights as well. But Karim, I'll start with you. You look at the breakdown. He mentioned the 5 billion. And you see, for a fact that in this same country, we've been there before, where for a whole year, 2-3, the DACF does not go to the districts. So developmental projects are either stalled or not done at all. But let me pick it from this angle. Your your general reactions to what we saw yesterday, the presentation from the minister and all that he said.
You know, I was fortunate to have even listened to the minister in Tamale on Sunday when the president was there for the Reset in Ghana tour. You know, there was a particular forum that was held, more of an accounting to the people, sort of town hall meeting, and the local government minister as well as other ministers of state were there to account to the people of this country. That was the first time that I heard all of these figures and what they had been able to achieve within a 1-year period as a Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religion Affairs. And it's just impressive. And it goes back to talk to the fact that the reset agenda that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama promised is indeed a reset agenda that's on course. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama must count himself as one of the luckiest presidents in the history of our country to have very competent hands at the helm of affairs. Andy, for 8 solid years, monies that were meant to go back to our districts, go back to our municipalities, go back to our metropolitan assemblies to aid in development didn't go. And we all know, as a matter of fact, that it is the district assemblies that are responsible for the local development of the area.
Yeah.
So the DCEs, the MCEs, the mayors, they are responsible for the development in the area. But how can they develop if money does not go to them? Because development is not just by word of mouth. It is the money that shows working. Today, we get our district assemblies receiving the amount of money that they are supposed to receive. In the past, the monies never went because somebody probably collateralized it or put a cap on it and failed to send the money to the district assemblies to aid in development. Today, we are told that in the whole of 2024, only 362 million was released to our district assemblies. Randy, 200
over 200 and whatever
270 something.
Yes.
District assembly. Only 362 million. Let me just look at the exact facts here. Was released to our MMDS.
And that was 2024.
Yes. In 2025, 5 billion was released to them because they are supposed to take a certain percentage. So why does anyone want to sit on that money? And we ask ourselves, so where did the monies go? Now that we know that this is where did the rest of the monies go that time? If not for anything, Randy, across the country, you walk into our districts today, you walk into our towns today, and you are seeing the construction of chips compounds. You are seeing the construction of 24-hour markets. You are seeing, of course, road rehabilitation works being carried out. For communities that have long had issues with water, we are seeing the drilling of boreholes in these communities. There are some legacy projects that are ongoing in these communities that the District Assembly Common Fund, are funded. And for me, and I keep saying it every day, that we must be grateful as Ghanaian people that for once again in the history of our country, we have a leadership that is committed to doing good by the people of Ghana. And that is clearly what we are seeing today. Of course, there's a lot more that we can achieve. But so far with what we have seen, it's worth commending. Away from that, Randy, our assemblymen, who are also agents of development in our community, at least today we are seeing them also receiving some stipend at the end of the month. Even if it's 500 cedis that they are taking, but we know it's more than 500, a little over 1,000 cedis that they are getting every month. That alone is also enough.
Something that has not happened before.
Something that has not happened before.
And of course, not to cut you, coming from a junk status as far as our economy is concerned.
Yeah.
Right, let's just keep that in mind.
And also me, I keep asking myself that, so what exactly is it that this government is doing so right? That Randy, within just 1 year, they've been able to turn around the fortunes of this country. Meanwhile, and in 8 solid years, some people had an opportunity and they messed up the country. In just a year, look at the positive work that's happening. 5 billion sent to our MMDS. Chips compounds are being constructed. At least, if not anything, some 2 chips compounds are being constructed. If not anything, 3 classroom blocks are being constructed. If not anything, some 10 boreholes have been drilled in these communities. If not anything, 24-hour markets are being built in these communities. And away from that, assemblymen are getting paid. Away from that, Randy, our chiefs and queen mothers. I've heard a lot of people question the reasoning behind, having to pay chiefs and queen mothers.
Karim, there is an interesting question, though. I'm sorry, but not to cut you again. How about the other question? Where did the money come from?
Which one?
Like what we have seen last year, the 5 billion. Where did it come from?
It is the same money that the MPP refused to give.
Maybe we should be asking that question.
No, that's
where
what I'm
did
saying.
The money come from?
No, there's not where did the money come from. The question you should be asking is that how come the previous people could not pay those monies? So where did those monies go? Because we know that there is a pool, Randy, that these monies go to. And when the money ends up in that pool, the district assemblies are supposed to get 80% of that money. So why were they not giving the district assemblies those monies? Those are questions we should be asking for. Questions we should be seeking answers for. I hope you are getting my point. And case in point, I mean, what could possibly have gone wrong during the previous administration? That they could not give district assemblies the monies that were due them. Today, Randy, you move everywhere in this country, and I keep saying it, it's become a construction site. Everywhere you pass. Today, President is casting salt for this. Tomorrow he's doing this for that. Tomorrow next he's doing this for that. He's launching this, he's doing that. And the country is still stable. Our currency is still stable. The president made it clear that it was going to be between 10 and 12 cities. As we speak, it is still hovering around 10 point something, almost 11.
11, yeah.
Today, we are not buying fuel at the amount we used to buy previously, even with Israel and America war, with Russia and Ukraine war still continuing. You understand? But our country is still running. Our economy is still moving well. Today, we are recruiting 7,000 teachers. There was clearance to recruit nurses and health service workers. We are recruiting men and women to join our security agencies, police, fire service, navy, prison, army, mention it, immigration. We're doing all of these things. And guess what? We have still not gone to borrow from the capital market. So you ask yourself, what exactly is it that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and of course our able Vice President Professor Mahami Odende, Nana Jienopo Kwajima, exactly what is it that they are doing so well that the previous government could not do well? These are questions Ghanaians must be asking themselves. Of course, we understand that everything is not smooth and rosy and set. Of course, we do not expect to get everything smooth and rosy. The only person who is perfect is God. Governance is a human institution. And so, yes, there are still complaints coming in. There are people who have concerns and all of that. My response mostly is that patience. Everybody's time will come. Assemblymen were not factored. Today, they are factored. Our chiefs and queen mothers and paramount queens were taking 1,000 cedis during the previous administration. Today, they are getting some 3,000 cedis. People are questioning about why do you have to pay chiefs and queen mothers? If you guys understand the important role these people play in our communities, you wouldn't even ask those questions.
Okay. Now, let me bring you in again on this, and I'll just run through it. Some of the key highlights from yesterday's presentation. We'll display that on the screen. One, the minister says that the government of H.E. John Dramani Mahama inherited in 2025 a dysfunctional local governance sector and decentralization structure occasioned by a lack of adequate resources for the MMDAs to perform their functions. This hampered their ability to fully discharge their statutory responsibilities, thereby affecting service delivery and infrastructure development at the local level across the country. So it simply means that it was actually a bad debt that they inherited, looking at where we came from as far as the economy is concerned. He further mentioned that the first thing we did was to facilitate the election of members of the Council of State in all 16 regions. This was the fastest and earliest election of the Council of State in the history. So I want you to look at it from the angle where the early days, we saw how President Mahama tried as much as possible to put together his government. If indeed that really helped in where we have gotten to as well. The minister also mentioned it is instructive to note that the statutory 5% of the DACF, that is the District Assembly Common Fund, meant for disbursement to the MMDAs was also capped because the previous government did not take the decentralization system very seriously. And that is what Karim mentioned, that if after 1 year we are able to spend all these monies, we're able to give out these monies to the MMDAs, then we have really come far. Let me take your reactions on that.
Well, to the issue of putting together the government, team, I think it was one of the things that really sets us on the right track in achieving all that we have now as a country. Because, mind you, we inherited a very messed up system. The government inherited a very messed up system. And if we're going to wait till maybe 6 months after before they nominate this one, blah blah blah, appointment committee to him, it wouldn't have been achieving all that we have now. Because look at the election of the council of, it was very fast, very swift, and then everything was over and done with. That same came with the appointment of the ministers, MMDAs and all. So before we could all realize, everything was set in motion, everybody was on track to start working. And I must say that looking back now, we have done ourselves some real good, and even to the good people of Ghana. Because tell me, this has made us know that there's actually a possibility of putting together a government within the shortest possible time. It's not about you going to sleep and going to dream about who should be what and whatever it is. It's about competence and if we are looking at it critically, these people are the helm of affairs now in the various ministries, the various sectors, the various municipal and then metropolitan district assemblies are very competent in what they are doing, and that has channeled down to the work we are seeing now, where in the sole administration, I mean, they didn't care, but mind you, the ministries cannot do everything. The agencies cannot do everything with regards to decentralization, with regards to developmental projects at these grassroots level. And so the onus will now lie on the municipal, the metropolitan, the district assemblies to make sure that these developmental projects happen.
Yeah.
And so if the funds that are due them, they are not receiving it, then what are they sitting there for? Would it be another, should it be, another space of they dressing up, going to sit at work, at the end of the month they are paid for doing nothing. And then the people will also be there and be shouting. So what would they be doing there? District assembly just go and take market tolls and what from the people.
I think that was what we were riding on some time ago anyway.
And that is it. Nothing happens. But now we are seeing chiefs compounds, and I like how they have put stringent measures in place for the allocation of the district assembly common funds. You know, for every percentage has where it has to go. And so if you're also sitting there as a district chief executive, municipal chief executive, you know that where the money comes, it's not for you to spend or you to give to as money for the boys. There are strict things that you must follow, stringent measures you must follow to make sure that whatever CD entrusted into your care is accounted for at the end of the day. So I'll say that it's a real good step in the right direction. Right?
Karim, maintaining or sustaining the gain. Now it is clear, there is no ambiguity about it, that the country loses a lot of money to corruption.
Absolutely.
And this is actually the fertile grounds.
Yeah.
The MMDAs. If you watch PAC, that is Public Accounts Committee, you'll be sad. Guys, you will really be sad that a director can't even give correct and appropriate answers for how they spend so and so amount of money. Some don't even know, they have no idea. They wake up and somebody has already signed. You cry for Ghana, the amount of money that goes into graft at the local level. And you see, and that is really the problem. So, for instance, the 5 billion, we know what it has done.
Yeah.
This year, we are expecting another one. If it comes and it is not managed well, Karen, let's talk about the corruption part of it.
I think that, Randy, the reason why we still continue to have issues of corruption and graft and thievery at the helm of leadership is because we have failed to punish people. How long have we been having Public Accounts Committee sittings?
Before we were born.
What have come out of those Public Accounts Committee sittings? Except we going deep down and showing what has been expended on wrong things or what has been stolen. But after that, what happens to the people who have been caught or people who are liable? There's no punishment whatsoever. So if we fail to crack the whip, that would be the repercussion, and that repercussion would be a repeat of those acts or activities, because people know that at the end of the day, there will be no repercussions whatsoever for them. And so for me, the only solution to corruption, the only solution to thievery, the only solution to stealing is when we decide to crack the whip. Until we fail to crack the whip, we would continue to have these issues of corruption and thievery and all of that happening within our country. Away from that, now we know that it is 5 billion that was disbursed to the district assemblies. That I would urge the Ministry of Local Government to do is to, at every quarter when they disburse the monies, to at least make it open and transparent for the Ghanaian people to know that this is the amount of money that has been disbursed to every single district assembly in this country. So if I'm in East Gonja, I know that East Gonja in quarter one, they received maybe 50 million out of the 5 billion.
Right.
Or they received 20 million out of the 5 billion. Now, when that money gets to them, we must also know that in East Gonja, this is their plan for that amount of money that they are receiving. And these are the allocated amounts or the estimated amounts for that plan that they have. Like they have done so far now that they've put things in different percentage. You know that 25% is going here, 10% is going here, 30% is going there. So we must know. So that at the end of the day, we mark them based on the outcomes.
Right.
So if you say that in quarter one, the amount you are going to receive is going to be used for, this percentage of it is meant for 24-hour market, we must see physical, Findi de Gandhi on the floor, that indeed the 24-hour market is under construction. That if it's chips compounds, that the money has gone to the construction of the chips compound, who has gone to the fitting of the chips compounds with the necessary tools and equipment that it needs.
Yeah.
If the money is going to go into the completion of Agenda 111, we must know exactly how much.
Karim, hold on a second.
Talk to me.
Or would you land on that instead?
You
hold on.
Talk to me.
Let's rope in Professor Abdullahi Mohammed. He is a local governance lecturer at the University of Ghana. He's joined us via phone. Let us really break this whole conversation down. I'll come back to you guys so we wind up on it. But Prof, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Very well. Prof, let's break it down. First of all, when we talk about the District Assembly Common Fund, exactly what does this mean? What is it supposed to tackle?
Okay. The District Assembly Common Fund was an act of parliament that purported to allocate initially 5% of total government revenue for local development in the different parts of Ghana. Then subsequently it was increased to 7.5%. So that means that currently 7.5% of total government revenue is allocated to the District Assembly Common Fund. Now this common fund money is not in a fund for the District Assembly Common Fund to be distributed according to a certain formula that has also been approved by for developmental projects in the District Assembly. So we can say that the District Assembly Common Fund is a specific purpose grant. In fact, there are two types of grants. There's what we call general purpose grants and then specific purpose grants. General purpose grants are grants that are given to local government, and they have the choice of using it on whatever projects they want. Whatever things they want to spend it on, they have the liberty to do that. But specific purpose grants are earmarked for certain developmental projects in the district that have already been decided at the central level. So it means that district assemblies do not have the flexibility of using the money in areas that they think are their most felt needs. So if we have to accelerate the fiscal decentralization program, then yes, it is good that we give them some target projects to implement the district. But districts vary in terms of their needs. They vary in terms of their needs. The developmental needs of districts are different. For example, the developmental needs of urban districts are different from the developmental needs of rural districts. And therefore, we'll have to make that distinction and allow some room of flexibility for district assemblies themselves to actually pinpoint their most felt needs that are capital projects that can be included in the funding of in the Assembly Common Fund funding. So, for example, a village that has a local district that has a very small catchment area with a very low population, with a very low level of economic activity, and then we build them a market that's fine. But what is the size of the market that we're building? Then they will be looking at, if we want a market, do we want a market, or do we want a clinic, or do we want a school? These are important things. So if, for example, a market is captured in the plan that has been given to them by central government, but their most felt need is a clinic or a school, then you see that it's a mismatch in terms of what their developmental needs are. So while it is important that you give them guidelines so that they don't overspend, they don't spend on frivolous things, it is also important to allow some room for them to vary what has been given to them by central government in relation to their most felt needs in the district. If you don't do that, then you straight bracket them in terms of what they should use the money to do. And we do it, but it doesn't reflect their developmental needs. Then it means that we have spent the money in a way that is not efficacious in terms of dealing with their developmental needs. So yes, there is a general guideline from the central government that is true, which is also important to meet its policy priorities. At the same time, we must temper it with the option or the leader for them to be able to do what they can do in terms of root their mortality. So that's what is important.
No problem.
The other thing about the district assembly, yes, the formula is given, but this formula also has because they target in terms of what economic, what human cost capacity, what that take, what that will take. Then they also put some amount for distressed districts and whether your district is viable. So these are formulas, and we need to back people here because there are some restricting. Without central government, we cannot do anything. There are only about 5 to 6 metropolitan municipalities up to 50% of total revenue that they have.
Exactly.
We call the IGF, the internal generated funds.
So, Prof, if that is
cannot raise up to 50% of the money that they need from their local government. That means that they depend entirely on central government. So if they depend entirely on central government should allow some flexibility in terms of chipping in what their most developmental needs in acts in relation to what the central government has for.
Prof, if you are looking at the significance of the percentage, one will also argue that 5% is not that significant. I mean, per your analysis, that you look at the size.
It has now been increased from 5% to 7.5%.
Very well. So I'm making a point that if you even break it down and look at the size of the various MMDAs.
So the formula doesn't mean that everybody gets the same. No, that's not right. But the point is that there is, for example, an amount that is given for you for tax effort. And that tax effort simply means that to what extent can you generate money from tax revenue from your local sources? And it varies according to the district. So if I'm economically unviable, you don't expect me to be able to raise a huge sum of money compared to, for example, it's a metropolitan district like AMA or KMA. So that's why I'm saying that because if you give AMA or MMA, because you can play, then you give them a certain big chunk of money for their effort in raising revenue. But you, a distressed district, you don't have a population, you don't have viable economic activity for which to raise revenue for. So if you give this a big district that, because you can raise revenue, so we are giving you this sum of money because of your ability to raise a big sum of money. But these people who are not raising big revenue, we penalize them because they can't raise revenue. But it's not their fault. So that's why I'm saying that the formula can be revisited so that at least you allocate a chunk of money to distressed districts who cannot develop for no fault of theirs because they are not qualified.
Yeah.
The other thing I have to say about the unviability of not viability of economic viability of the district is that we have fragmented local government. In fact, when we started in 2000, there were a total of only 65 people that we implemented the that rolled out the modern system. And by the end of 1988, we raised the total number of people from 65 to 110. Currently, from 110 from 1988, 89, 80, we now have a total of 200 and over 261 district assemblies. That is a good number. Most of them are economic supply. They just need 10% of the money we need. There's a district assembly in the Northern region. I don't want to mention the district assembly's name. For the whole year in 2019, they could not even raise 10% of the total revenue they need to be able to execute their work. So it means that 90% of what they needed to come from the central government. And it was not forthcoming because the central government also didn't have the money. So If you say that it is small, yes, I agree to the estimation because look, Uganda came and copied this Assembly Common Fund from us. And at the time we were having it at 5%. They copied from us, but they initially did an allocation of 20% of total government revenue to different assemblies. Well, you will say that, well, the revenue structure of Ghana and the revenue structure of Uganda may not be the same. But I think that we can improve the percentage to a certain level. Now that government revenues are recovering, now that government revenue is popping up the big sum, I think we can make a bigger allocation. And it's a good start. Because if government can, this is the first time that government has allocated such huge sum of money to this assembly. Historically, not only was the money too small, but it was not even forthcoming.
We are sure of the fact that monies will not be dissipated anyhow.
Yeah, that is true, but that is not on department. Every agency, every ministry of government is supposed to department. Every agency, every ministry of government is supposed to have an internal audit unit. And therefore, if the internal audit unit does its work very, very, very well, then the level of corruption before you implement the project and then it comes up for export evaluation, the corruption will be significantly reduced. So first, what we need to do is to up our game in terms of internal auditing. Then when we up our game in terms of internal auditing, then we can also up our game in terms of external audit. In fact, most external audit, which is export, is done by just merely coming to sit down, investigate, look at papers, look at receipts, look at that. But they should go the extra mile to even go to the field to see. So if you say you have been a 32 euro block of farm food, we want to see where it is located. We want to see food quality. We want to see the quality of the inputs that you use. That's because for him, he will investigate, find that people are corrupt, and he will settle them and name and shame publicly, and name and shame publicly. And he was upping the game. And since they threw him out of office, everything has gone has become very, very difficult to manage now. So if we can beef up internal audit, beef up external audit, both at the central government level and the local government level, then corruption will be significantly reduced. That will enable us to free money from what goes into corruption into much more development projects in the district. Corruption into much more development projects in the district.
Prof, we appreciate your time. I mean, I wish we would have enough time so we delve deeper into some of the breakdowns, but we appreciate your time this morning, Prof.
Okay, thanks.
Very well. We'll definitely call on you again for a deeper conversation. Let's say a big thanks to Professor Abdul Kuyini Mohammed. He is a lecturer at the University of Ghana, local governance lecturer at the University of Ghana, adding his voice to all of this. Karim, so, I mean, you've heard him. I mean, but unfortunately, we are out of time. We should be winding up.
I mean, I don't think at this point I even have anything significant to add to what Prof has said. He's basically said it all. And just as I intimated in my earlier remarks, the District Assembly Common Fund is the pulse of every district. That's the foundation, that's the basis. That's how we can develop our country. And so if you have people come in and sit on the money or cap the money and fail to take the money to the assemblies, then we're doing them more harm than good. And so we're glad that finally we have a government that's listening. We have a government that sees the need for the money getting to the places that the money is supposed to get to. And I also like the fact that Prof made mention that, you know, we must also look at what really are the challenges within the district.
Yeah.
We can't just ask everybody to go the same tangent. You can't ask a fish to climb a tree. So we must look at what really the needs of the various assemblies are and push the monies into those various places. But we must insist on the value for money. We must insist on transparency. We must insist that the monies are used for the purposes for which those monies are sent. And at the end of the day, let's not forget that it's taxpayers' money. And the taxpayers are in these districts and live in the communities, and they need good roads. They need potable drinking water. They need hospitals. They need markets. They just need the country to run. And so my word of encouragement, and of course, should be termed as a very humble admonition to our various MMDCs, is that please, let's utilize the monies for the purposes for which they are brought to us, and let's develop the communities that we find ourselves in. Okay. When Ghana develops, it develops for everybody. It's not just for an individual. So let's do good by the people, and remember that our blessing is in heaven, like we used to tell teachers in the past. So Randy, that's how I'd end it.
Karim, thank you. Now, in 30 seconds, we should. I mean, we were supposed to have that conversation on trends.
We'll move it.
But we'll move it to tomorrow on Potpourri, so that we can get the views of our viewers as well on that one. All right, but let's wrap up.
I think I started with what Karim has said and what Prof also shared on the needs of the various MMDs, because you can't compare AMA's problem to
Gan East or Gan West.
Let's go to Gan West.
Okay.
Because that place.
Where is Gan West?
Gan West is the Amasama enclave.
Okay.
Getting to the end of Accra.
Okay.
That area.
Okay.
That is Gan
Gan
West.
West. Okay.
That was my beloved Afuama.
Okay.
That's all Gan West.
Okay.
And so the problems of Gan West cannot be the same as that of AMA. Or if they are allocating the funds, I think all these things too should be put in consideration. And then again, talking about the issue of corruption, I think maybe there should be some form of auditing periodically too.
They have internal auditors. They do.
So what happens? Is it that they put in, they are able to be in the shoes of the auditors to put things in place such that you come and they said this amount has been allocated, and then you see the project and then you imagine the amount and like it just doesn't tally, and the auditors to come and they don't find any loopholes.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why Prof mentioned that people need to be punished.
Honestly.
So at least even if they will not go to jail, name and shame.
Just name and shame.
If they will not go to jail,
they will recover.
So the option, there is no option. There shouldn't even be an option. Straight to jail, or we get our money. But if that is also failing, then we name and shame. Imagine waking up in the news and then your father's name is there. He has stolen money. He has diverted funds.
I wait to. It will be somewhere. But you see, that thing is, it's not even my fault. It is.
And sometimes it's a cabal. So it's a group of people who sit somewhere around the table.
Yeah.
And then they do that.
True, but let's hope for the best in the days ahead. Let's just hope and pray that as they are allocating the funds to them, the projects are being done.
Yeah.
That they started beautifully, they'll continue like that.
Yeah.
So that at the end of it, or when we start accounting the good people of Ghana, it's we will find things that where they are supposed to be.
Okay.
I just want to play safe this morning, Randy.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Over to you. Are we close or are you close?
Close us.
Now the day is over. Night is drawing
It's just 10 a.m. and the day is over.
Shadows of the evening
sail across the sky.